Welcome back to Coffee Talk, where I take an interesting topic and give it to you in the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. So now, grab yourself a cup of coffee. Make sure that it is piping hot. Add yourself some milk or non-dairy creamer. My favorite non-dairy creamer is French vanilla. And if coffee's not what you do, perhaps a nice herbal tea is more for you. Make sure that it is steeped to perfection. Add a little agave or honey to it. My favorite tea is lavender tea. And if coffee or tea is not you, perhaps a nice fruity smoothie is more what you do. And let's get into today's hot topic, which is: why are Africans and Caribbean immigrants upset with Black Americans in the immigration crisis, and why Black Americans don't care? So, now, sit back and let's drink this hot coffee. Now, let me start out by saying that I don't have anything against my African and Caribbean brothers and sisters who are immigrants. But I'm also well aware of the fact that some of them have something against us, meaning foundational Black Americans. So let's get into this. The U.S. immigration crisis has sparked heated debates, but one under-discussed tension is the growing frustration between Africans and Caribbean immigrants and Black Americans. Many immigrants feel abandoned or misunderstood by Black Americans, while some Black Americans seem indifferent to their struggle. Why is this happening? Well, let me break it down. First and foremost, different histories and different perspectives. African and Caribbean immigrants often come from countries with majority Black populations, and they don't experience systemic racism in the same way as Black Americans. So when they arrive in the United States, they expect solidarity from Black Americans, and instead, they sometimes face things like resentment over model minority stereotypes because some immigrants are praised for hard work, which is weaponized against Black Americans. And then you have cultural clashes. Immigrants may not fully grasp the deep rooted trauma of U.S. racism and competition for resources, going for the same jobs, looking at the same housing, and looking for political attention. Meanwhile, Black Americans whose ancestors endured slavery and Jim Crow may see immigrants as newcomers who don't understand their fight. Next, you have the immigration crisis and selective outrage. Many African and Caribbean immigrants feel that Black Americans are more vocal about Latin American immigrants than about Black migrants facing deportation. Examples are the Haitian deportation under Biden, which sparked outrage among Haitians but less visible support from Black American activists, and African asylum seekers detained at the border reported feeling ignored in mainstream civil rights discussions. Some immigrants believe Black Americans prioritize race-based solidarity over immigration issues unless it directly affects them. Then we have the opinion that Black Americans don't care. But is that true? It's not that Black Americans don't care, but immigration hasn't always been a top priority in Black political activism. And there's multiple reasons, such as focus on domestic issues like police brutality, voting rights, and economic inequalities. And there is a lack of media coverage of Black immigrant struggles. In addition, political alignments. Many Black Americans support Democrats who are seen as softer on immigration, even when policies harm Black immigrants. Now, one of the issues with the Black Americans don't care, let's really be honest about that, is because in some cases you have Africans and Caribbeans who, for all intents and purposes, come off with an attitude of being better than us, either because they are from the continent, so they quote unquote know where they came from, or they're from the Caribbean, so they weren't in slavery as long as our ancestors were. And many think we in the United States have no culture. So honestly, when you think that you're better than us, we don't see any reason to have solidarity with you. But again, that's another video. Let me stick to the content of this video. So one big question is, can this divide be bridged? More dialogue between immigrant communities and Black Americans needs to happen in order for there to be any chance of there being a bridge. And highlighting shared struggles like racial profiling affects both groups, and other things that affect us both are ways that we can come together. And political advocacy that includes Black immigrants in racial justice movements is another way that we can start to bridge the divide. Here's what I do know. The tension isn't about hatred. It's about unmet expectations and lack of awareness. And it's clear that both groups need to listen and collaborate. And that way we could grow stronger with a united front. But one of the issues that Black Americans feel is that Africans and Caribbeans are trying to override our culture by pushing their culture and their needs ahead of ours. And for us, that's not going to work. But what do you think? Should Black Americans do more for Black immigrants, or is this a misunderstanding? I'd love it if you drop your thoughts down below. Now, see that I'm at the end of my time for this coffee talk. So that means that it's time for me to go grab myself another cup of coffee so I can start working on my next video content for you guys. But in the meantime, I will be, of course, wanting to see those comments down in the comment section, along with you checking out the resources that I used for today's video. And if you are not already subscribed to my channel, tell me, what are you waiting for? Because I've got more content coming for you and more content on the channel for you to see. Go ahead, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video out to your friends. Also, I would love it if you don't mind if you'd go ahead and follow me over on my other social media. You can find me over on TikTok and over on Instagram as DC the Purple Diva, and you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, as Purple Diva Den, and you can check out my other YouTube channel, The Purple Diva Den, where I the spoken word. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace and blessings from the West Side. I'm out, you guys. Bye. Peace.